We're back on the Yaffee program. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. Making the fight to believe in America again. Appreciate you joining the show. If you missed any of it live, the podcast will be up on the website at WVNN.com. Let's get to it right now. Once again, the headlines. We have those Alabama bullet points.
Alabama bullet points. Today's headlines from around the Yellowhammer State.
Sponsored by Larry's Pistol and Pawn. Number 4 today, liberal Huntsville Board of Education member is arguing that the Alabama Policy Institute is an influential cult hidden behind a nonprofit. I mean, she could also talk about the teachers union, right? Just pointing that out. A liberal Huntsville City School Board of Education member, Andrea Alvarez, publicly accused the Alabama Policy Institute of being an influential cult hidden behind a nonprofit that is part of a national agenda via its affiliation with the State Policy Network to what she says is undermine public education and promote school choice. Now, in a social media post, the outgoing board member claimed API exerts undue influence over Alabama Republican legislators and conservative organizations, arguing that support for the group equates to being against public schools. Conservatives for years have been pro-school choice. You don't need API to tell us that. Number 3 today, U.S. Representative Shamari Figures, a Democrat, says that prediction markets closely resemble sports betting. So Shamari Figures out of Montgomery expressed legitimate concerns about prediction markets during a House Agriculture Subcommittee hearing, arguing that platforms like Kalshi and Polymarket closely resemble sports betting, which, of course, it does. I mean, it's pretty much what it is, just about more than just sports. He noted that these markets allow users to buy and sell contracts on sports events and other outcomes, making them accessible in states like Alabama despite strict anti-gambling laws, while the federal government has deemed them legal nationwide and not subject to state gambling regulations. Figures acknowledged the value of regulated commodities markets for risk management, but highlighted potential harms, including significant financial losses. I wonder if you can bet on if they'll ban Kalshi markets. Is that a bet on there? Number 2 today, Tommy Tuberville sends a memo to Republican legislators urging opposition of the Protect College Sports Act. So Tommy Tuberville is going to be our next governor as well. Sent a memo to Republican legislative directors urging GOP senators to oppose the bipartisan Protect College Sports Act as it heads to the Senate floor. Instead, he has been promoting his own narrower Student Athlete Act, which would set 5 consecutive years of eligibility, allow 1 penalty-free transfer, eliminate discretionary waivers, and restore strong enforcement authority. Tuberville argues that the other bill does not fix the core problems of transfers and eligibility and instead creates a sweeping federal regulatory system over nearly all aspects of college sports, which he says would lead to more litigation, uncertainty, and unwanted government intervention. He emphasizes that college sports needs clear, targeted rules rather than a broad federal takeover. I tend to agree with them on this. And number 1 today, the Republican delegation has helped pass a funding bill in the House in hopes of avoiding a government shutdown. And of course, they're working on some other bills as well, the National Defense Authorization Act. They're trying to add parts of the SAVE Act into those bills. But the House passed a short-term funding bill to keep the government operating through December 4th and avoid a shutdown ahead of the November midterm elections. Now, Republicans, led by Speaker Mike Johnson, advanced the continuing resolution in a mostly party-line vote. It was a 220 to 205 vote. Now, 6 Democrats did join Republicans here, but every member of the Republican delegation in Alabama voted for this, while both Democrats voted against this. When Barry Moore was on the show earlier this week, he talked about this because he said the Democrats really want to push for another government shutdown, and we need to avoid that, especially for an election. Of course, he's right on that, but it does have a tough road in the Senate, as anything else would, honestly, these days when we're talking about the U.S. Senate. So we'll talk more about that later. Right now, I've got to tell you about my good friends at Larry's Pistol and Pawn. You know where they are. You have passed by that place a million times. You've seen the big rusty water tower off 565. You see their store, 18,000 square foot facility. If you need a new or used firearm, you can buy it there. If you need the best in jewelry, you can buy it there. If you need some other stuff as well, you can probably find it at Larry's Pistol and Pawn. There's another location in Huntsville of North Memorial Parkway, and you can go to the website right now, pistolandpawn.com, pistolandpawn.com. Let them know you heard about it from Yaffee. Cameron Smith, columnist for AL.com, joins me next here on the Yaffee program.
You're listening to Yaffee on WVNN.
Scrolling with Haley.
I'm Haley Karania. I scroll with the homies here in the live chat because there's a lot to scroll through on X, on Instagram, on TikTok.
Cutting through the clutter, one hot take at a time.
Love seeing you all in the chat before the show. I tried to jump in just a few minutes before to say hello. I love the chat interaction. Thank you for helping. But I do it to get all of the videos and all of the content that you won't find anywhere else.
Scrolling with Haley.
Just search that up and I will be there.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet. Go behind the scenes and beyond the headlines with the biggest names in pro wrestling and beyond.
Mr. Sandman.
All I ever wanted to be was a pro wrestler. So I got to live my life and make people really happy.
The Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels.
Do you think there's anybody better than you were?
I think I was great at what I did, and I think other people were great at what they did as well. Greatness is more a mindset, I think, than anything else.
Mindset, motivation, insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.